Hello everyone, my name is Mitz. Here we are about Higurashi When They Cry. We're going to the second chapter of this installment, and I just gotta say, the first chapter, all that just like seeing Shian's little plan, doing a little prison escape out of her own, just academy, that private institution, that was honestly great. It just reminds me like her character so much. Look, she's manipulative, like she knows how to get what she wants, all like manipulating other people's perspectives on her and putting things all to her advantage. It's really just interesting to see, honestly. It really is. And I read through the journal again from the tips, and it definitely is going to be added more and more into the tips section as we go along. But I'm just reading through again. I had this brief thing, it might be Rika might have written it if it wasn't Shion. Unless it was Shion or some new person, new, like, I'm a girl who's like a new character in this installment, then, like, it has to be at least someone who's not part, I guess, of anything happening, like the three families. It isn't like someone like in Rika's situation where they're part of it, there was a line in there about a member of the three families and so about all that. It makes it imply they're complete outside of, like, it's anyone of power, a relative of that, so it has to be someone who just like a normal bystander in the whole thing, which I guess is obvious, but it's a unique distinction, obviously, and Shion fits that well as well, even if she's not technically she's technically part of the family, but she's not part of the town or I guess the meetings themselves. So it must be someone who could be related, but still is, I guess, like removed from those proceedings. Honestly, that's what the letter is, like the journal is all about. Interesting to see exactly who it is. If there's no like new girl character like Shion meets in the whole proceedings, then yeah, 1982. Wait, this is not 83. The fourth year of the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as Oyashiro-sama's curse, 1 year prior to Keiichi Maebara's transfer. Wait, are we gonna meet Satoshi? Oh my god! That was the journal was talking about Satoshi's disappearance. Okay, we're actually gonna see exactly what why. Like, exactly what happened with Satoshi then, honestly. Huh. I didn't hear a wake-up chime. I'm not in school anymore. My brain is half asleep, but I'm aware of that. Waking up at the same time as the chime would go off at school doesn't feel good. I can't go back to sleep after this. Still, I'm not gonna live a tortured school life anymore. I can make today either happy or boring, it's up to me. Yay, that's really positive. I feel like I'm alive for the first time in a while. I didn't have any other clothes, so I was still wearing the school track uniform. Do you, like, literally was... Okay, you only have all that. You only have, like, 3 different, like, types of clothing. Wait, no, is it 2? I forget. Oh, God. It's either a regular school outfit, then gym clothing, and... Well, my next thought was, a pool, but I don't even... That doesn't even qualify as any kind of uniform, so yeah, scratch that. No, just 2. It's supposed to have been designed by some famous Italian person, but it looks like plain to me. Well, if it was designed by someone rich, then you know that means it's extravagant. Even looks the most bland thing ever. Because it's status, like, infused, apparently. It really doesn't feel great to still be enclosed in a school. I want to enjoy my freedom as soon as possible. Hey, Kasai, let's go on a shopping trip. Especially don't want to walk around outside wearing it. I should have Kasai bring me some new clothes later. And I should think of redecorating this room. That's what you're going to be doing all day, huh? After all, this is going to be my castle from now on. Nice. Does anyone else live here, or is this like just you? This is a room in a gorgeous apartment building in the suburbs of Okinomiya. Oh my gosh, that's where that's where it is, honestly. The property is one a realtor my dad's conglomerate obtained after foreclosure due to some sort of dispute. I don't even get the details. Most of the residents moved out after that. You have a whole building all to yourself. That's actually kind of cool. So while there are plenty of rooms, it's a lonely complex that feels devoid of people. Plus, with the exception of the manager and a scant 1 or 2 others, all the residents are shady-looking people connected to my dad. You win some, you lose some. It probably won't be much longer before the virtuous residents are driven out. The apartment I'm living in used to be the room they used for viewings, so it looks like a room in a business hotel. It's fully furnished, but lacking in daily necessities. I'll buy those things over time, though. Just buy a whole shower and push it into the corner. It's better that way, anyway. I'll make it feel more like my own room. I nodded to myself. It might look stupid, but it helps psych me up. At the school, there was a TV only in the common room, and we weren't allowed to watch any cable channels. I zapped through all those channels as a form of emancipation. It was early in the morning, so nothing interesting was on. Dang, you don't even watch Sesame Street? But I enjoyed it anyway. Commercials are fun to watch. Oh yeah, I've seen some of those Japanese commercials. Some of them are just, like, some of them are downright bizarre, and some of them are just entertaining. Kasai dropped by with lunch right when I started to feel hungry. Good morning, Shion-san. Did you sleep well last night? Sleeping on the couch is a bit too uncomfortable. The Japanese person, I want to sleep on a futon on the floor. Oh, this pickled radish is good. That's good to hear. Please let me know what you need later on. I'll try to get as much as I can. Clothes. Thanks. Oh, but you don't need to worry so much about me, you know. I chose this life for myself anyway. And your wallet wouldn't last if I started extorting you, right? I have to be serious about my plan. I can't let myself take advantage of Kasai's wallet forever. How are you planning to get a job, then? I think I'm gonna start a part-time job. That's the thing, because, like, sooner in the future, you're gonna get part of the Angel Moore Club, but, like, that was because your relatives put you to it, so no matter what in the future, that means I technically figure out, you're out of the schools and all that, and, things are gonna happen from there on out. I think I'm gonna start a part-time job. I have to earn my own living, you know? This is the life I chose, so naturally I have to take care of it myself. That's reassuring to hear. But are you sure? If you go outside, eventually someone in the family will discover you. Wear a mask, with sunglasses, and the tacky Joker mustache. I gave that a little thought, actually. Which is why I'll need Mion's help. Oh my god. Kasai, would you mind calling the main house for me? When Mion answers, pass me the receiver. Oh, well, whatever you say. What could be your plan? I'll swap places with her. Kasai dialed the number. It's funny to me that we're calling the main house, even though that's the place I most want to avoid at the moment. Look, if you want to make sure the enemy stays far away from you, you gotta take your enemies, get your friends close, and your enemies even closer. That's what, that's the classic 101s, okay? Manipulate them even further. Hello? Good morning. Is this Mion-san? It's been a while. This is Kasai. Yes. Good morning. Could you hold for a moment? I'm letting someone else on the phone. I took the handset. Hello? Can you tell who this is? No. That voice! That can't be true! You're an imposter! Shan's dorm doesn't allow private calls. You can't be her. Yeah, they forbid outside calls to the academy. But you're talking to me right now. My dim-witted older sister should understand what that means. Did you sneak out of the school? How? That's not important right now. I can't reveal all my secrets. I really missed you, sis. Shion! That was as far as I could take it. And Mion had her limit too. We both burst into laughter, unable to keep up our act. It's been a while since we laughed out loud with each other like this. We all know that Shion's gonna escape the school one way or another. It's been forever, Shion. Seriously, what happened with you? There's not much else to it. I haven't lied or anything. Wait, then you really ran away? Ooh, great job. The security wasn't tight enough to keep me locked up in there forever. Maybe the school should be grateful you escaped quietly. I mean, if you were serious, it'd be easy for you to blow up the whole boat and make your escape. Well, I mean, you either steal dynamite and light it off, or the more pragmatic way, just stealing all the stuff from the chemical room. Ah, chemistry. How scary a subject it is. Well, I could have done that, but I might have set on fire. That too, that can work too. Kasai smiled at us in amazement, his face a blend of amusement and exasperation. Is it okay to talk to you now? It's alright. Granny's out for a lesson. She's coming home later in the evening. That's good. We should get together and talk soon, actually. Just over the phone for today, though. Okay. Did anyone report my escape to my grandmother? Nope. I mean, she literally just said, you escaped? We heard nothing. I passed along all the calls and guests for the main family now, so no news reaches Granny without going through me. I'm sure she doesn't know. Wow, that's awesome. You cover your tracks up way too well, honestly. You really sound the next leader of the Sonozaki family. You know I don't like that. You should have taken my place. You're the one with the demon, aren't you? Yay, family stuff. Based on everything like that, based on everything, it just seems like Sheena's, like, way much more capable and all, just, like, I guess, getting her way, honestly. There's also that. And thinking about it now, I'm just getting reminded of, like, the conversation that Sheena had with Keiichi. It just means that she definitely met, like, you know, Satoshi in some capacity, honestly. In the future. At least around here. And technically, isn't this the year when, I guess the club activity started, or I guess the club got, you know, specially enacted between all of them? Most likely, anyway. And at the start of it, Mion wasn't really good at that stuff. And had to go be dirty, like, as it went along slowly. I mean, you're the one with the demon, aren't you? Well, keep giving me your all. I'll be rooting for you from the shadows. Anyway, that's not important now. Sounds so indifferent. Well, that's okay, I guess. I mean, do you want to have the stress of being the next leader all on your shoulders all through your life? No. No. If you hear anything about me, just give Kasai a call, okay? I did give you my number here, but I'll keep it secret for the time being. Sorry. Alright. No caller IDs. If Granny hears you fly to school, there'll be all kinds of trouble. I'll be on the lookout for now, and I'll let Kasai know if something happens. Thanks. I also have a favor to ask you. I figured you would. Oh, money's out of the question, okay? I never thought I could press you for money. I just want to ask you for a little help with my part-time job. I see. Advertise me around the place. So that's it then. What exactly do you need? A job. We can communicate fast in a situation like this. We don't have to get into details because we know what's on each other's minds. Uncle Yoshiro is on my side, isn't he? Oh, okay, so you literally just asked him for, for a part-time job or anything. I thought it was implied it was, like, the family. Well, it was Mion who was implied anyway to, like, you know, do all that. Oh, that makes a lot of sense then, actually. That makes a lot of sense, oh. I'm gonna try and see if I can get a part-time job at one of the businesses he owns. Then I'll call you when I know my shift. Well, and actually, wasn't Shion, like, a newbie? Angel more from the implication as well, or I guess it was just a yeah, it was actually implied, or just the whole thing just like, oh my god, she was playing, either she was like playing up the act, or on Keiichi, or like was just nervous around him. Either one of those, and both of them sound immensely hilarious to me. So I just have to wait to disappear while you're working, right? That's a little taxing. I mean, what are you saying, sis? Are you turning down your only sister's request? Seriously? I'll disown you for this. Alright, I'll do it. I want to see how you retaliate if I turn you down. Thanks. Oh my god. I'll buy you cake from Shalanke Bertha's. I'll throw in tons of pretty tarts, too. Shion? Shalanke Bertha closed last fall. Oh. Going down to slowly empty town vibes now. Huh? Is that so? Yeah. The owner had a stroke. Oh. He reopened the store once, but he got sick again. So they shut it down. I see. That's a shame. I won't be able to eat their Mont Blanc cakes to my heart's content anymore. I was disappointed that my favorite cake shop had closed down, but more so that this town had changed without my knowing while I was gone. It was kind of regrettable. Are there any changes I don't know about? Yeah, there are some. I'll tell you when we meet up next time, though. Thanks. I'll tell you about my school life then. Let's set a date then. I'll call you. Alright. I'll see you then. Hey, Mion? What is it? How are you? I'm fine. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm hanging up now. Awkward phone call. Okay. See you. Okay. It's really been a while since I last talked to her. I put the phone down and heated a sigh because I brought in some tea. Wormwood. So, how'd it go? Do you remember Uncle Yoshiro, who was in favor of me staying? I'll talk to him about my escape and ask if he can hire me to work at one of his stores. Are you sure? Some relative might find out. That's why I asked just a favor. I'll contact her when my shift is set, and she'll disappear while I'm working. Do you get the picture? Guess I look puzzled. Literally just pretending not to be there at the time and all that. Wait, is that acting to play up for entire year, actually? Holy shit. That's dedication, honestly. It's not really that difficult to grasp. I mean, it's simple. If somebody finds me at work, I'll tell them that I'm Mion. Do you get it now? Normal people wouldn't buy this kind of plan. But Kasai knows too well how easy it is for my sis and me to trade places. That's audacious, or shrewd, I should say. You say this like you don't think Shiona's like this. I'm impressed. Is that a comment, Kasai? Kasai looked amazed. The things you get into with friends. If things go south, it'll affect him too. Considering the rules of my dad's profession, he won't be able to get away with just a mere apology. That's why he doesn't want me to do anything too risky. I think I have to make it up to him, since he helped me escape with even knowing that risk. This chapter's all about getting the job here. Okay, then. Alright, no problem. I have no idea how to give different voices to all these people now. If I find someone talking bad about you, I'll beat them up with these hands, with this fist, and that fist, and the third fist. Just grow a third hand. Aha! Thank you so much. I knew I could rely on you, Uncle Yoshiro. Uncle Yoshiro pounded his chest with his fist after offering me his assurance. He seemed glad I turned to him first. Maybe I'd be happy to help, since I'm so impressed that you're trying to support yourself now. If you're here for money, I'd turn you into your grandmother right away. What? You're scaring me, Uncle. I knew he was reliable. He understood my situation straight away and promised to help. Manager, here's a shift chart. I'll put it here. One of the store clerks brought out a work schedule. There are many things I'm unfamiliar with written on it. So, how much can you work? That depends on respective schedules. Like, are you planning to, like, go to a different, like, actually go to a normal school, Shion, in some way? There's that, or are you, like, gonna go back, just only purely work and sustain yourself and, like, move up somehow? I hope I can get it when I want to. Yeah, that sounds a little irresponsible, but I know you're in a difficult situation. And depending on Mion for my work, our schedules have to match. Of course, Uncle Yoshiro understood that. I also knew he couldn't afford a selfish part-timer who only works when she wants to. In the end, he decided to hire me as an office helper, not an official worker. Oh, office. Oh, that explains so much then. That explains a lot. That explains a lot now. As a temp, I wouldn't have a work schedule. My uncle also decided to pay me out of his own pocket. Okay. It's fine as long as I can make enough to support myself. Sure. I expect to get what I expect to get what I'm paying for, okay? And don't call me uncle in the office either. All right, manager. Salute. Thanks for hiring me. Good, you get it now. Once the business talk was over, my uncle hounded me with all kinds of questions. He asked me things like, what was it like in a prestigious girls' boarding school? And so on. Apparently there are all kinds of rumors going around about the St. Lucia Academy I was confined to. Everyone's curious about it. Oh my god, the rumors spread even outside the school. That's the next level of dedication right there. I had a few embellishments of my own as I explained how unordinary life at that school was. My uncle looked extremely delighted to hear all the little details about life in a secret garden for girls. Secret garden, that's a weird way to put it. Oh. That was in the back of my mind, but I didn't want to believe it just yet. God. Once my uncle was satisfied, it was my turn to ask all kinds of questions. I want to know if anything peculiar had happened while I was gone. I won't be able to act like Mion unless I can fill in the gap of information left in the past 2 years. There haven't been many big changes, honestly. It's been quiet since the end of the dam conflict. I went to the academy only a bit after they froze the project. There was still a bit of tension then. After they shut down construction, things are still tense because the project wasn't entirely cancelled. But the Onikafuchi Garden disbanded about a year later. It was a big ceremony held at the shrine. And just like a ribbon cutting thing. And hereby the Onikafuchi, the OGs, are now discontinued. Woohoo! Confetti pop. And that's when the damn conflict officially ended. That's right after I was imprisoned. Is everybody slacking now that the conflict is over? I guess you all had fun playing a war back then during the damn protest, didn't you? I mean, yeah. I mean, when's another chance you can like throw rocks and bricks and get away with it? When would you? Try to imagine how much suffering the adults went through every time they had to come pick up their kids in the police station. That just sounds like an amazing time, honestly. Well, I can't deny that. It was like a festival for us. An everyday festival. That's what the Oshiro-sama's curse was all about. That's why it's only the festival now. It's only the day of the festival. Nowhere else. Makes so much sense now. Uncle Yoshiro seemed exasperated at how much differently kids and adults treated the conflict. Well, look, here's the thing. I'm technically an adult, and it's still fun. Oh yeah, there was a dismemberment murder, wasn't there? Just cutting straight back to it. Okay. The one where that fucking jerk of a construction manager got split into pieces. They still haven't caught the culprit behind that, have they? Even still, like, there's definitely something going on with that murder entirely, whether it's covered up or, like, that person technically isn't dead, but I'm, just trying to, like, act and all that. Did they literally just fake his own death and, like, or just keeping him alive and torturing him and hiding away? Because it doesn't make any sense if, like, the guy was working with the Sonozakis unless he was paid off extremely well. But, like, they said they were low on cash in the, you know, the fourth installment. Definitely so. So, if there's something going on with that, then must be some very, very unique circumstances. Especially since this installment does put out the idea that it's hard to figure the motivation of, I guess, the culprit, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be unique. They still haven't caught the culprit behind that, have they? Did they finally catch him? Come to think of it, I don't think they caught him yet, no. It's still at large. It happened the night of Wanton Nagashi, didn't it? Remember everyone making a fuss about it being Oyoshiro-sama's curse? That's pretty scary for us kids. We want to be the curse, not something out of our hands. Yeah, Oyoshiro-sama's curse. That happened the year after, too. It's also kind of funny just for hearing all about the curse thing and all that. Like, literally the second chapter here and not, like, halfway through, or even, like, the chapter before that, in the 5th chapter, that's honestly still funny to me. That's right. That was scary, too, wasn't it? Who was it again? That guy who supported the dam died in an accident, right? Hojo, wasn't it? And it happened on the day of Watanashi once again. I mean, everyone went crazy, saying it had to be a curse. That was horrifying. Definitely. The construction manager that everyone hated was killed, dismembered on the night of the Watanashi festival. The incident on its own was more than intense enough for us kids. Worse, part of his body was never found, which made it almost a ghost story amongst us. That body part is actually now the ghost haunting the entire town. We seriously believe that the severed right arm was roaming in search of the body belonged to. That sounds like a sick ghost story, honestly. It didn't take long for the rumor of Oyoshiro-sama's curse to become a topic of discussion among occult researchers and the like. Considering circumstantial factors, I mean, even so, the rumor faded away after about a year. After the dam project was officially frozen, we held Watanashi purely as a festival. But the curse struck again. The victim was a pro-dam activist who lived in Hinamizawa by the name of Hojo. We're never going to learn her first name. He and his wife were on a trip when they fell from a cliff to their deaths. It was considered an accident. Technically, police are still searching for the wife's body, but if I remember right, they never did find it, did they? I mean, once again, the man most worthy of Oyoshiro-sama's curse fell victim on the night of the Watanashi festival. So the fuss over Oyoshiro-sama's curse rose up again. Until then, Oyoshiro-sama wasn't considered very important. At least in the world of us kids. It was just the name of the object of worship in the shrine, nothing more than that. I seen boys peeing on the archway, and I once took my hand to the operatory box. I was thinking operatory, like someone would steal from there at some point. Like, there's that whole delinquency stuff. The existence of a god didn't matter much to us. Well, that means technically a bunch of kides literally desanctified the shrine. That means Literally, every kid in that village is actually, like, the curse then. That's why everyone died in the third installment. The goddamn, just the gas. Oh my god, that's why they are all killed. But apparently, they weren't deemed, I guess, cursed really enough for the first 2 installments. Or maybe, like, no, they technically still, I guess, alive. Had to be way much later, though. The gas thing was going to happen no matter what later on. It got exacerbated because just Keiichi churned the swamp mud. The existence of a god didn't matter much to us. After 2 consecutive occurrences, the kids no longer doubted the existence of a curse. We were all shaking in fear of Oyashiro-sama. Everybody suddenly became interested in the old stories about him, too. We quietly listened to the musty old stories the others had to tell. And oh yeah, like, that's why Oreo, like, Mion's grandmother, also, like, I guess maybe used it to instill I guess the values of sticking together. And if anyone in the village gets slighted, everyone should step up. Especially with Oyashiro-sama as well. That's probably why people, like, got more into it as well to do that. We quietly listened to the musty old stories the elders had to tell, and we started genuinely believing the tales of Oyashiro-sama's miracles, which any of us would have laughed away before. Oyashiro-sama's rules were awfully simple and clear. Enemies treading into Hinamizawa will be cursed. Villagers leaving the village will be cursed. Shia, no! But to find the village was terribly vague. Were we never allowed to leave Hinamizawa village? Was Gun Okinomiya still safe? Was a single step enough to be out? Was a 3-day, 2-night hot spring trip still safe? We kids tried to draw a line. It was decided in the end that if you had a house in Hinamizawa or Okinomiya, you were safe. Yeah, but if your family, like, puts you away to another, like, you know, another prefecture across the nation of Japan, does that technically still mean you're, like, you know, if your family would force you to that school and you've just been disowned from the family, does that mean you're still, not cursed, or because against your will and you couldn't do anything about it, wasn't your choice? Does that count? And it was okay to go on trips if you had a house in either area. I know it's weird. Those rules were made up by kids, as are all. Sometimes curses are even more finicky, too. I mean, according to those rules, I'd be cursed. I lived at a boarding school in such a remote area. I couldn't say it out loud because I felt embarrassed. But in fact, I was a little scared of the curse. And for the sound of it, Reina was actually the most scared of it, honestly. Yeah, like, oh, that's actually another reason, like, probably why, like, every time it comes up, Reina just, like, goes a bit weird about it. Especially with Mion is another reason why no one brings it up, honestly, in the group. Makes sense, honestly. It still doesn't make sense, like, even then, like, why didn't they bring it up? Like, I guess even, like, when, you know, Mion and Keiichi were alone. Especially since Mion decidedly did that in the 3rd installment, like, numerous times, honestly. There was still that. Yeah, it happened again the year after. It sure is scary when it happens 2 years in a row. I still believe in Oyashiro-sama's power. Shion-chan, what are you saying? Don't you know? No? About what? Oh, right. You went to that school before it happened. That's why you don't know. Uncle Yoshiro grimaced as if he said too much. Well, tell me all the gossip! Is all you mentioned something I shouldn't know about? Pretty sure that was, I think the Erika's parents getting killed, if I'm remembering things right? Yeah, it was that. What is it? You can't leave me hanging like that. Well, I think you're mature enough now. Hey, if you think my body looks underdeveloped, you should see an eye doctor. Either that or you're a pedo. Don't say that. Okay, I'll talk. It happened again the year after that. What happened? What are you talking about? Tick. When I was very little, I always had this tick before I heard something bad. It was like a gnome who lived inside me was giving me a warning. That's a nice metaphor. Like he's poking me with a small needle. When I felt this tick before my parents called me, they either always chide me or tell me something bad. So I used to run away when I felt it. You have good intuition. You can feel the bad omens in the air. My senses seem to have grown dull over the years. God damn it. Even though my gnome poked at me, I just sat there. The year after the death of the Hojos, it happened again. Last year, in other words. Did it happen the day to Wanta Nagashi? Again? 3 years in a row? That's right. You know there's a shrine in Hinamizawa. The Fruity Shrine? The priest suddenly died the night of the festival. They said the cause of the death was an unknown illness. The same night, his wife threw herself into the swamp. There was a big uproar about it. The mayor even had to hold an emergency meeting. Oh. Oh, well, technically, since we know about it, it just cuts over. I just like to explain it, I guess, again. All the still vague details. I don't think the bit about the illness is true, but his death was very sudden. I mean, the priest was busy preparing for the festival when he got sick around that time. So I guess he died of a heart attack or something. But just crazy that somebody died on the day of Wanta Nagashi again. It's the 3rd time in a row. It's unbelievable that so many people have died on the exact same day. The coroner didn't find anything unusual with the cause of death, so nobody suspected anything was wrong, as if they don't know what the drug is. But you're right that the whole situation is abnormal. All the people who were likely to be cursed died on the day of the festival. What's something behind this? Whether it's a conspiracy or a curse, there has to be. Oh, the library. I decided to meet up with Mia in the library near the Okinomiya train station. It's not that I don't trust Mion, I don't want to let her know where I live. Not many people use this library, so I won't see anyone from Hinamizawa here. It's very convenient for meeting someone in secret. My god. Use the library to speak over your plans, lay out the blueprints. After we discussed my life plan and work schedule, we moved to small talk. I've been away from this town for years. Things have changed. Okay, now tell me, who's been kissed and who's died so far? God, love that meme. I asked Mian about those changes in detail in order to fill in the gaps. While talking about various things, I brought up about what Uncle Yoshiro had told me. About Oyashiro-sama's curse. Even before I left town, the curse had already struck twice. This memorable murder in the first year left quite an impact. That's one heck of a way to start a curse anyway, so. In the year after, the pro-dam activist couple fell off the cliff. The day the villagers were enjoying their first Wantaganashi festival since the dam project was indefinitely frozen. This one was also left quite the impact. Oh yeah, there was that whole thing, like, I know, like, technically, like, Sadako was there the day, but, like, I think I was trying to clarify, like, was she even around when, did she see her parents fall off the cliff? Like, it's implied, like, they didn't know, like, she didn't know, but, like, was she even in the area, like, when her parents, I guess, quote-unquote, went missing? Yeah. This one also left quite the impact. The evil construction site manager was punished. The next year, the traitor to the village met the same fate. If it happened only once, people would have concluded that it was just a bizarre coincidence. What happened when it happened 2 years in a row? People were far more likely to believe it was a curse. I know up to that part. After I left town, oh yeah, plus there was a media blackout then soon. Was it actually after the second one, I believe? It was either after the second or third. Either one of those two. And then it was never touched upon ever again. I think, no, it had to be happened before the third one, or else I guess Keiichi would, like, find, like, try to, like, look into it and, like, try to find it out, but, yeah, there was the whole thing, like, even the tip section back then in the first installment, there was no news coverage about it, so yeah, after the second one. And after I left town, the curse struck again for the 3rd time. People talked about the curse more intensely than ever, both in Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. I had to rethink this. Oyashiro-sama's curse has drastically gained credibility when I was away. It was still unclear with the first 2 incidents. After it continued for 3 years straight, people's doubts changed to convictions. Even though the priest who died in the 3rd year wasn't an enemy of the villagers, the fact that people in Hinamizawa didn't care for him much added even more credibility to the idea. Especially if it was the priest. Did people care about the wife? Like, it was implied in the 4th one, technically she was the one that carried the bloodline of, the Furudes. Not that guy. Wasn't the priest hated by a few? Especially by the committee members? Yeah, they criticized him for being a fence-sitter. Toward the end of the dam conflict, the protesters were all taking aggressive stances. They didn't like how soft he was being. The priest had looked strict and scary. The way he spoke was always so formal. In reality, he was very warm and reserved. Maybe it was because he was a son-in-law, having married into his family. Yeah. I'm sure the priest and his personality were the perfect fit for managing the shrine that was used for summer festivals and village meetings. But that gathering spot-style atmosphere of the shrine changed completely when the dam war broke out and became the headquarters of the Onikafuchi Guardians. Yeah, there's that whole thing. Sounds like a personality trait of someone can be literally a pro or a con, but only based on the situation then. Like someone who's like very patient would be really good at, I guess, trying to weed out, I guess, long form conflicts. But if you didn't make a decision in the moment, that might be a great hindrance, honestly. Same way with impulsive people. They're good at split-second decisions, like right there in the moment. But if something, they have to deal with consequences long term, that kind of thing, and so on and so forth. Guess it was just the wrong place, the wrong time thing of an undesirable situation. Prior to the dam protests, hardly anyone worshipped Oyashiro-sama. The gall. Of course, the devout elders paid worship to him, but the average person treated our god like how you treat fortune-telling. Once the dam protests began, Oyashiro-sama suddenly hauled out as the symbol of the village's resistance, tracing the Oyashiro-sama faith back to its roots. It was an exclusive, elitist faith that believed its members were descended from a holy ancestor, different from the masses at the foot of the mountain, that those tainted masses should never come near the village. There's also that, because, like, what's implied, Miyo Takano also was, like, who also lived in town for a while, and she was, like, trying to look into exactly the very distant past of the village, and so if only a certain few people know about that, that'd be another interesting thing to look into. Only a select few people do know that, the three families, anyone connected to that relative-wise. Is that to think? It was an exclusive elitist faith that believed its members were descended from a holy ancestor, different from the masses at the foot of the mountain, that those tainted masses should never come near the village. That's a different weird way to put it, actually. Do people not, I guess, have put into mind about the... People actually completely forgot about the demon part of it. Only, like, took in... They only remember just the broad stroke of it, then. Of course, such self-centered ideology wasn't acceptable anymore in peaceful post-war Japan, so this doctrine was abandoned over time. Still, the idea remained. They trudged back up to fan the flames of nationalism and unite the town against the dam project. With the revival of those ideas, things only grew more radical by the day. It didn't take very long for the Onikafuchi Guardians to become aggressive. To that, we were in a state of war. 100 million, burning as one, kill the white savages, want naught but victory. Oh boy. Adults and kids both were gnawing at the bit, avid to repel the foreign invaders. Describing it like that makes it sound like kind of awful, like a reminder of the dark times of wartime Japan. But like I said before, for us kids it felt like less of a war and more like a village-wide festival. Yeah, down with the traitors, down with the people breaking into it, you're stepping into my yard, It's like those kind of, like, cops and robbers games, almost. Yet despite calling it a festival, dissenters were treated coldly. The heartlessness led up to the expression, wartime regime, or regime. The Hojo couple who voiced their acceptance of their dam product in the midst of the atmosphere were truly brave, actually. In the second year of the curse, they died in an accident. Actually thinking about it, if the family was actually given money for all that, and like the dam product was canceled, I guess they got the best end of the stick, honestly, by that time. If they were given money before. My god, actually, oh my god. Then the second year of the curse, they died in an accident. And everyone believed it was Oyashiro-sama's curse without question. Well, besides the curse, anyway. So they were branded traitors and enemies of the village. I'm assuming everyone just gave them the evil eye even after the dam product ended. The Hojo couple were faced worse than just being ostracized as traitors. Everyone gave them the cold shoulder and talked behind their backs. The only person who didn't treat them badly was the priest. While the priest never objected to the anti-dam movement, He also never objected to the Hojo couple's advocacy for setting the government's eviction restitution to rebuild new lives. Those unforgivable Hojos became a slogan as the three families, especially the Sonozakis, united the village by turning them into scapegoats. They must have found it very shameful to have a fellow member of the three families approve of that, especially when it was the priest of the shrine that had become a symbol for the dam protests. Yeah, I can kind of see that, honestly. Ooh. The central figures in Hinamizawa, the three families were the backbones of the Onikafuchi Guardians, so a difference of opinion was undesirable. And the priest was never accused of anything. But secretly, people whispered that he was a heretic, who was unfit to serve as Oyashiro-sama's priest. That Oyashiro-sama's curse would soon strike him down, along with other rumors. Do you think the priest was more mature than those around him, though? He was pretty cool. Managed to keep his head and remain neutral while everyone around him grew fervent. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that a bit. I thought Mian would share my opinion when I chimed back in. So when Mian gave me a forced smile and didn't agree with me, I was taken by surprise. Like, well, the priest, like, just from how Shiana is, like, she was, like, outside, I guess, the meeting, so, unless... I mean, just from that, just surface level, there's that, unless... Did the priest do anything, I guess, worse in the meetings than what we've seen so far? I don't remember anything he's done that was too especially bad in the fourth installment. There was that. Oh boy. If he were really mature, I think he would have cooperated with the others. He should have appeased them. He wasn't just the head priest, he was also the head of the Furidi family. That was a time when all the Hinamizawa needed to be united. So having one of the families, who was also served as examples, disturb the harmony was... I don't know if that should be called mature. It's hard for me to tell. That just seems like a confliction of, I guess, like... I can literally just combine, I guess, like, different, like, I guess, the whole, like, American values, like, I guess, being individuality, and, Japan's, like, cooperation and all that. There's, like, that value dissonance, like, there's even some, like, stories, and, like, I went through, like, main Japan and all that, like, there's, like, some characters and all that are, like, meant to be seen by the characters, even the main characters in the audience meant to be, oh, yes, they're a worthy figure, but to me, going through them, like, it was like, no, screw them, honestly. This just seems like that kind of situation, honestly. I don't know if that should be called mature, it's hard for me to tell. I was taking it back. I barely managed to say the following. They're going for the whole thing of, like, me and just going with the whole fact of you're just causing a conflict when there's already a thing bigger happening so far, so why don't you just temper that down and just, go along with it sort of deal. Even though we're identical twins, we still had our own unique identities. Every now and then our opinions differed, but usually over only some trivial matter. Never had a difference of opinion this big. It was an enjoyable feeling. I just had to probe her some more. I don't really like that word you used, appease. What are you trying to say? Are you saying the priest should have thought of the village as a whole and kept his opinions a secret? Meaning people shouldn't assert the self before the whole? Oh, you're going with that. Oh. I'm not going that far. Just, I thought that, as a member of the three families, he should have acted more carefully. That's what I mean. Me unfolded a bit as my tone grew more like a cross-examination. I realized I was speaking a bit too harshly. What Mian expressed was probably the more mature opinion on our scale. When everyone needs to work together to stand up to a vast enemy like the government, people should refrain from actions that would destabilize that alliance. Writing it out and reading it now, I can understand that. I wasn't mature enough to agree such a totalitarian idea. Or maybe it wasn't me at all. It was Mian who made that mature judgment. We've been separated for over a year. I've been away from town. Meantime, Mian has been training to take over the headship of the Sonozaki family. Yeah, there's that. She's been treated as such even before was confined to that institution. She sat next to the hag in ceremonies and in meetings. She took her place when the hag was absent. Still, even though, like, the whole leadership thing, and, like, I know I definitely don't feel like I would ever be a leader, it just feels wrong, honestly. Like, the whole scapegoat thing, like, make sure everyone's complete, utter harmony. It just feels a bit Yeah, but I know one of the things that's stressful, it's better to have, like, make sure everyone's on the same board and the same page. It just feels very, very wrong to me, though, when someone, like, doesn't do technically anything wrong, has a different opinion, and then everyone starts dogpiling them about it. It just feels so bad. So wrong to me. She sat next to the hag in ceremonies and in meetings. She took her place when the hag was absent. But now it's just it. We never were that different, were we? Mina's become very like its successors as I've been gone. Uh-huh. He's like a grown-up now. She seemed to get what I was implying. I'm thinking like Granny now. I mean, that's good. You're the successor. You shouldn't think like the rest. You definitely learned the art of ruling. I never learned anything like that. I'm just trying to act like her. You can do it easily too, you know. I don't want to. It's your role, not mine. I mean, don't try too hard or you'll tire yourself out. I didn't mean to be cold, but Mion's didn't take it that way. She smiled as if trying to pacify me. I smiled gently back at her. The rips are forming. Sis? I mean, Mion? What? What is it? Our separation has always been tough. Our names, the places where we live, and our bodies. Mion looked down with a serious face, then looked right back up. Maybe you think I'm jealous of that, but I'm not. We used to have some disagreements, but they were always small and forgettable. You don't have to feel sorry for anything. Up until birth, we were perfectly equal. Right after birth, we were separated by the grown-ups' priorities. I used to get mad about it when I was little. There's no denying that. Yeah, but we don't have to start a disagreement over it. Mion seems to understand what I was trying to say. We each have our own characteristics, even though we're identical twins. Only we know the differences. We're also dependent on each other because of them. Mion seems more dependent. She always worries about me. If somebody gave her a cookie, she'd divide it in two and give one half to me. If somebody gave her a candy, she'd wait until I said it was okay to eat it. On the contrary, I'm cold. I don't care about others if I'm satisfied. I put the candy in my mouth right away. I had to emphasize that I don't hate her. I'm well aware that she loves me. We both know that. Mion must have been hesitating to put the candy of the successor in her mouth and was waiting to see if I was okay with that. Do your best, Mion. I'll do my best as Shion here, too. I did her forehead with my fist lightly. Bonk bonk. Mion put her forehead against my fist as if trying to feel the warmth. She's Mion, and I'm Shion. She's the successor of the Sonozaki family. I'm just a vagabond. That isn't distinction, but rather our individuality. We shouldn't worry too much about the other anymore. We should feel relaxed, living as who we are, with our own characteristics. I didn't have to say any of that out loud. We can communicate by touch, just like this. Beam the thoughts into the brain through the fist and forehead. Okay. Thanks, Shion. No worries, Mion. Still funny that the names are just so similar to each other. Just it's so funny. It's gonna be so hilarious. Just like the same voice actor. It's gonna like voice both sides, like slightly differently. That's gotta be something else too. Especially their voices sound just similar. Let's talk to each other when we want to, like we've always been. I'll never change, okay? Okay. Okay. Mion kept nodding, with her forehead against my fist. I said goodbye to Mion before it turned to evening. We had talked about the things that happened during my time away, and I enjoyed having that chat between sisters very much. It was actually really nice to hear. Also just learning, I guess, a bit more what makes them separate differently. That whole thing about him, I guess I'm splitting in half and honestly and all that. Yeah, just going with me and my sister, even though we're not twins or anything like that, just a year apart. I'm definitely, I guess, thinking about it more on Mion's thing if I had to compare us like that. There's that. Hmm. We were able to dissolve our unsettled emotions. We didn't used to do that. Maybe it's because we hadn't seen each other for over a year. They just built up over the time. It was a late afternoon. My heart felt lighter now. I stretched and looked up at the sky. The sky was clear, blue, and far away. No matter how tall I grow, I'll never be able to touch that sky. I'm Shion Sonozaki, a girl who escaped from the life she was forced to live. Nobody will praise me for what I did and for what I'm going to do, but this is what I chose. Aha! I can think maturely too now! I set myself up. I should go shopping for dinner. Though I have Kasai's help, I need to save money. I love junk food, but it'd be cheaper to cook. Ironically, the culinary classes from the evil school come in handy. Take the good from the bad evil school. Not those dastardly villains, teaching good lessons. Only those small good lessons. Why not go to the shopping district and Ishiki? If I'm going there, then I need to take the other street then. Yeah, just make sure to go down alleyway so no one notices you. Some of those darn residents here like do go to Okinawa still. The cool breeze in the late afternoon felt nice to my skin. Ding dong. Kasai came to the door while I was putting stuff I brought into the fridge. Ah, wait a sec. I'm coming. Welcome to the new Sonozaki house. The better one. Super Brain first live. Okay. Big teddy bear with a drum. Love it. Rabbit, the trash can. Slightly less, but still, it's cute. Did you go grocery shopping? You must be tired. I don't get tired from grocery shopping. Well, it was a long drive and a walk, so there's that, so. Oh, do you want dinner? I bought enough for you, too. Is that alright? Besides, I'll be happy to. This is literally your apartment? Okay. The green carpet for the fish. Nice. Looks nice so far. For a shady apartment complex, whether it's your decoration or not, this looks very lively. Kasai looked curious about what I'd cook. You look like you believe my cooking skills. You'll pay for that later. Are you putting these in the refrigerator? I'll do it. Oh, thanks. Is this amount of rice enough for two? Here I go, then. Kasai skillfully packed food in the fridge while glancing at each item in turn. You notice something. This is a billion yen. Shion-san, do you still hate canned food? I hadn't bought any. That was, of course, on purpose. It must be hard to avoid it. I know it's illogical. Maybe I could eat if somebody forced me to. No, on second thought, I definitely couldn't. I mean, like, what was it? I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but, like, I heard it was something about putting salt, like, in some canned foods. Like, I guess I'm gonna make sure, like, it gets preserved for a bit. I don't know if that's true, but, maybe that's something to do with it? The saltiness? I don't know. My first thought, anyway. Especially, if there's nothing, any other ingredient that actually makes it, like, taste, I guess, differently from canned to fresh, then I don't know what the difference between those all would be. I know it's illogical. Maybe I could eat if somebody forced me to. No, second thought, I definitely couldn't. I feel really sorry. I know it was a loud line then. Please forget about that story. Shut up. Do I want to hear this canned goods story now. Mention hanging around in the kitchen. Go watch TV or something. Oh, okay. Kasai chuckled and left. I know this sounds stupid, but I hate canned food. If somebody told me there was canned food in a meal I just ate, I'd throw up. That's why don't say it at all. It started with a silly thing. Oh, you associate something with canned food, and that's why. Oh, that makes a lot of sense then. That's what it is. My god. Kasai told me a horror story when I was little. Oh god, it was. You know, one of those urban legends? But meat made from an unknown source? Oh my gosh! Soylent Green is people! Like those rumors about how there's a worm meat mixed into the burger patties or dog meat and beef bowls. I think I remember hearing like some sort of variation of the worm meat stuff. But dog meat and all that, never heard of that. Guess I had fun telling me one of those stories because of how scared I got. You get fun, but I obviously didn't. It traumatized me for the rest of my life. I even started crying in the canned food section of the supermarket. That's how much I hate those stories. I don't freak out like that anymore, but I still don't like canned food. I still remember just something similar happened to me where I read this obvious parody of like old like I guess children's like songs at a very young age. It's the only thing I remember because it affected me for a bit, and it's hard to forget afterwards. This one song, which literally was just someone instead of making spaghetti for dinner, they just made fish heads, and the noodles were worms, like actual long worms. And like a kid like ate in that story. It was meant to be very comedic at the time, but I did not enjoy that at all. I was really disgusted. And now every single time for like a year or two, whenever my parents or like anyone made spaghetti, I always associate back to that one song, like parody song story, and immediately just gag. I forgot about it, and I eat spaghetti now, but still. I can't remember the last time I ever thought about that, actually. My god. Since I don't like it, I don't force myself, and I now live my life naturally avoiding canned food. One of the big differences between us twins is that Mion doesn't have this issue. I mean, was Mion there when the story was told? Because if not, then that's the big difference then. She wasn't there. Kasai was responsible for this, but he can't get rid of me of that fear. Hypnotize it out of you. Still, I feel like this is actually a good thing. Otherwise, I'd be too perfect. My god, we gotta have some flaws to tamper down the energy. Hey, Kasai, can you set the table? It smells good. Thank you for doing this. I mean, if this isn't enough food, you can go to a beef bowl place later or something. And don't turn off the TV. I hate having dinner in silence. You just hear the sound of your own chewing. Thank you for the meal. So, what is it, Kasai? You came here for something, didn't you? I had a cup of tea. That's how you know things get serious. The music cut out in the tea. I can't wait until dinner was over, but I want to get to the point quick. I thought I should wait until we finish, but would you mind if I talked while eating? It's been bugging me since you got here. Much easier for me to eat if you start talking now. Just don't do a spit take with your own food. We received a phone call from the school today. Today? That's late. Since I didn't want to make it public. So, what happened? Akane sent her the call. She said she was going to tell your father when the time is right. Akane sounds my mom. That's what Kasai calls her, as he's known her since before her marriage. So? What did she say? I was lucky she answered the phone. Since she's relatively on my side. Other than calling you a brat, she didn't seem surprised at this outcome. I see. She knows her daughter too well. So she hasn't told Dad yet? She's probably waiting for the right moment. I think she's going to in a couple of days. Dad is on Grandma's side, so definitely talk to her if he hears about it. Then she'll have her men bring me to her, and depending on my explanation, make me offer a finger or two. Scary. I wish you could laugh it off, but please remember you're not the only one who... You're eating too fast. Oh, I cooked too much rice and miso soup, so you have to make another round. At least 3 helpings, alright? Oh my god. A few days later, Mion told me that the hag had heard about my escape. Okay. Well, that was anticlimactic a bit. She heard about it straight from the horse's mouth before anything happened. My god. Man, there goes the year-long, there goes the year-long, like, non-disclaimer report. What was it? What was this thing called? Oh god. A gag order. Nah. I can't think of the other name for it, though. So? How did you take it? Oh, she was furious. She said if you were an Okamiya, she'd get you right away. Scary. And? Is Dad doing anything? They'll hold a family council soon to see if any of the family members are hiding you. Doesn't look like she'll have the greenhorn search for you all over town, though. Oh my god, oh my god. You're gonna go, oh god. The whole family's gonna come down and, kill you. Oh my god. Holding a family council means that things will remain in the hag's hands alone. She won't search the town for me. It's like she's unofficially approving my presence. Of course, I'll get caught immediately if they find me in a large public place. Well, technically, at some point, like, it was that, and I was trying to figure out a way to bring it up, but there was several scenes, in the second installment, the third, where, she just came to Hinamizawa, so, I guess at some point, she found you, and, things were ironed out, I guess, a bit. And you still have your fingers, from the looks of it, so, not that, too. Let's like, take a toe or something. Seems like Mom did a lot to help me. I can tell she's being supportive. It's a long story, but my mom is sort of an outlaw, even though she's of the Sonozaki bloodline. It takes one to know one. A long time ago, she had a huge fight with the hag because she hated the family rules and traditions. She was even excommunicated. Uh, my mom was supposed to be the successor, but she was deprived of the title and Sis took her place instead. While she's quiet now, Mom's still an outlaw. She's always been on my side, because I also hate rules and traditions. Yeah. Dad was flaring up at first, but Mom pacified him. He can't win against her after all. Okay, thanks. Let me know if something else comes up. If things really go bad, I'm ready to leave town. I can't let Uncle Yoshiro, or even Mom lose face. Sis, I know what you're thinking. You're asking yourself why only I had to go through this, even though we're twins, aren't you? Mian was silent. That meant yes. Isn't it fair that only you have to live like this? It's absolutely not. Thanks. Does that sound like you hate the rules or traditions too? I heard it. That small comment. You're part of it too. Yeah. I appreciate your feelings. Tell me when you want to go out. I'll arrange my plans so that I can trade places with you. She sounded apologetic. I shouldn't go quiet or agree with her. She sticks to things a little too much. When she goes down, she'll stay there for a while. So I just told her simply, thanks. That's really nice of you. Okay, I'm hanging up now. Talk to you later. I mean, it's kind of interesting to hear the whole, I guess, family dynamics here. Even, like, this is, like, a year before all that. It's actually really interesting. A smudge diary. Okay. Oh, no, someone got to the diary. Or no. The diary fell off. It just fell off. Hello, sister. Reunited with a close relative. Achievement. Smudge. It fell into a goddamn lake. Oh, God. Why this interior shot? Oh. Oh, no. This is Mion's actually notebooks? Oh. Sadako was crying while behind my back. She's been crying while clinging on to me, so my back was wet with her tears and snot. My aunt had been screaming hysterically, but she looked tired now. Oh, are these... Okay, this is a Sadako... Like, no, this is Toshi's diary, then. Oh. Oh, wait, are all these tips going to be, like, going back and forth between, like, I guess, different sides? Oh. Huh. I suddenly realized it was already past 1 in the morning. She vomited out a series of screams one last time, then finally called it quits. Sadako seemed exhausted. She was looking down in a state of shock. Even when my aunt walked away, she didn't realize she had been freed. So I stroked her head and told her, "It's over, Sadako." Sadako twitched. Her eyes grew bright again, and tears rolled down her cheeks. She looked up at my face. She knew it was over now, but wanted to hear directly from me. She begged me with a look. To be honest, I was really exhausted too, so I felt a bit annoyed when she tried to make me say it. But I needed to pacify her, so gently told her what she wanted to hear. She's done with her scolding, so let's go to sleep, alright? Psycho clung to me while her tears continued to fall. She was crying again silently. Sadako was shivering pitifully. Her small back reminded me that there was nobody else to protect her. Here, go brush your teeth, make your bed, and go to sleep. Sadako smiled faintly and nodded. I felt dizzy. As I was released from that strain, a harsh drowsiness fell upon me. While Sadako was washing her face, I went to the toilet. I zoned out while watching my pee. In my dizziness, I almost missed the shot. I felt like I was being sucked into the toilet. I couldn't even remember what caused it. Why did my aunt start screaming today? Oh god. That's just disassociation, oh my god. Well, okay then. Well, that was that chapter done and gone. So basically this whole story is now leading up to, I'm assuming there's going to be a scene later on. Maybe that acts as a halfway point, or unless we meet, like, we definitely meet some other character and, like, things go on from there. But, since Shion definitely was in more public areas in, like, Hinamizawa and all that, there must be a scene where I guess, Ori, like, finds out where, Shion is, and I guess things are talked through to the point that she's like, I guess the grandmother just fine with her being around. But it's gonna be figuring out how that conversation even goes. She does show up like in Hinamizawa, the festival and all that, and since it's a big public area, I'm pretty sure people would notice then. You know, even the someone's lucky relatives would even see her there and like report it, even if she kept her hair down and tried to be as like Mion, which she never really did in the other installments. That conversation must have happened. And actually, because those journals, like the tips right now, these just, I thought they would be like going purely down like one person, just like in the second installment with like, it was Mio Takano's, of her trying to research more into the old ritual, like storehouse, like instruments and the old legends of the past. But it seems to be jumping around. Well, we only have 2 right now, but now I'm just wondering if the journals will actually continue on to almost everyone important, I guess, the main cast. And I would really love to see how Rika's would be in some capacity. Like, that would be really interesting. Well, especially what happened, and we learned, I guess, a bit about the last installment, that she technically knows she's gonna die, and she's gonna do everything in her power to try to survive still, even though it seems like it's set in stone. Be really interesting to see. And the one thing I'm wondering is how the story will continue on, because like right now, unless that scene happens early on with the grandmother, like, you know, finding Shion, like talking about, and like, yeah, okay, fucking fine, you can do whatever you want, but you stay out of our way, Missy. Then it feels like there's an entire installment which is like a story like surrounding the, I guess, seeing the action from the outside, not being inside the town of Hinamizawa, instead like only, I guess, hearing and like, you know, reacting to things that happen outside of it. Unless it's literally just chapters like literally just setting up I guess just like Shin living her own, like being sustainable on her own terms and all that, which definitely seems to be vibe here. But if they're not doing it, I'm more curious to see how they're gonna do that. And if that's the whole case of this installment, I guess it makes sense why Shion would be the main protagonist then for the installments. If you have to do you have to do each narrative for like what happens in Hinamizawa so goddamn creatively, so much Shion becomes increasingly involved, even though she isn't technically a part, like has a reason to go to Hinamizawa too often. You have to have a very creative reason to, you know, get her to go into the town back and forth like a lot, instead of, you know, just as Keiichi like does it, or like even Okosaka, like just living there, or even just, you know, renting a place like in Hinamizawa for a bit. It's not just that. And the one thing, since this story takes place a year before Keiichi comes and Satoshi's still alive, I really hope goddamn like Shion meets him. Like, there was a few lines in the 3rd installment which imply that well, at the very least, she learned about him. But since Sadako and Rika like never heard about Shion, I'm wondering if like technically either like she met him like when she was disguised as Mion, like walking around town, especially since their voice sounds exactly the same, and that's how they met, like, Satoshi, or she just heard it from Mion as things go along. I really just want a whole thing of like she actually meets Satoshi, because it feels like the story like definitely feels like it wants to make sure to reveal anything about Satoshi at all, because he is the big, just I get Schrodinger's cat in this box. I can, like, for lack of a better metaphor in this case, because so far every installment, he's been put down as everything and everything down. But if this is leading up until like his missing reports thing, and like that's the big, I guess, halfway turn, and this answer arc is really just all about jumping around different areas just to explain this one thing or that one thing. Will this be literally just like how Keiichi's like in stories where technically like this happened, like definitely, but we're gonna do a slight change that this happened. Like I don't know how to explain it better than like in this story actually it doesn't go as how Keiichi learns, but it's its own separate thing. Like Shion does something differently in the past here, and we get a whole different narrative instead, or just something that Shion never tells anyone. That'd be really interesting to see. That'd be really interesting to see. I really just want to see like a bit of Satoshi, even though the story is doing its damnedest to make sure everything you learn about him is very I guess wishy-washy of what and how you supposed to interpret him. Just besides I guess what day of the week and what day in the installment that Keiichi's being compared and contrasted to Satoshi all through that. Oh boy. I hope we get at least some semblance of like I guess how he acts, even if they had to be like, even just for one scene with Shion. Like Shion does know about him, and I'm really looking forward to that one scene. Hopefully it's just like they actually meet in person on the phone call. That'd be such a missed opportunity. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. And if it's not in this installment, then I goddamn hope that's actually in a future one. I so much want it. I so much want it. He's interesting. Very interesting. He's just the one character we just get so much information on without even hearing or like seeing much flashbacks or anything of it. Most everything we get from it is like people like telling about him secondhand. Oh boy. Especially since there was the whole thing of wondering if he actually killed the aunt or actually ran away. And also the whole thing leading up to the incident, he was being increasingly paranoid and erratic, the same way Keiichi did. That's a lot of things to happen. Literally, also the busiest middle schooler in the whole entire town. Doing so many things every single day. Oh boy. Well, oh joy. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out any which way. Really hope it's actually just meeting up. But I guess we'll see how that all transfolds for next time. So, hope a fun time watches as I am playing this. Hope you see me next time, the time that may be. And I'll hope you fantastic day.